What's happening, guys? Cap over here, and what is going on? It's been quite some time since I've uploaded. I've missed this. I've missed you guys. I've missed all your support, so be sure to smash that like button and show your support. I'm gonna leave an explanation video at some point in the future, but not today. Today we're focusing on the UBC League. We have two huge matches that could really affect playoffs for ourselves or our chances to make playoffs. We're taking on the Portland Poliwags and the Great Lake Greninjas, who are all in the race for playoffs. So in terms of how impactful this is to playoffs, it's pretty impactful. That's an understatement. It's important for both of us. So let's just jump right into this. I don't have a lot of time to really record, and I wanna get some rest. But yeah, we're taking on the Portland Poliwags, coached by Bronson. He brought in a powerful team. Azumarill really puts in a lot of work if it's choice banded. Bisharp really has an opportunity to set up here with the Sword Stance variant, especially since I'm bringing a choice scarf. T-Tard allows him to set up. I know it's a bit of a misplay, like a misprep on my part, but hey, I sort of decided, you know what, if he brings in Sword Stance Bisharp, then hopefully I get to keep T-Tard healthy and not play so reckless with it. So let's get this battle on its way. I'm gonna lead up with Suicune, as I predict his Lando. And that works out for me, as I can just go for a Scald at this moment to see how much damage I can get out. And that's some nice damage. It's pretty much just a standard Mew at that moment. And he does have the Calm Mind, which sort of nullifies my Suicune. But I do have Unaware Clefable over here, which absolutely absorbs that hit. That is delicious. Can I have another one? Yes, please. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I do miss my T-Wave, which is, it happens, you know. You get the little hacks here and there. But I'm just going to go for a Moonblast. I want to see what sort of Lando it is. I am a defensive variant of Clefable, and it pays off for me, as I'm just going to go for a Wish. Scout to see what this is. This is a choice banded Azumarill. That does choice banded damage. That is horrifying for my team. Unfortunately for him, though, he did not put classes on this Azumarill. Azumarill does miss the playoff, which is pretty huge, because this allows me to go for a Seed Flare freely, and I get lucky once more, get the Spadef drop, which is huge, and he's forced to make a play on his end, as he does go into Azumarill, and he does sack it off. It works out pretty good. Azumarill is the biggest threat over there, and that being gone allows me to play a lot more freely. And he does have the Sword Stance Lando, which is fine by me, but I can get some damage off and really keep on applying a lot of pressure at this moment, as he ends up going for a Fly, as I'm just going to go into T-Tard. T-Tard can take one of these attacks, and I can just go for an Ice Beam at this moment. Not wanting to play around with this Mon. This thing is scary when it does set up, but like I said before, T-Tard allows him to set up, and Sword Stance is going to happen over here, as I'm forced to go into Shaman. I can take one hit from this fella over here, and I can get some damage off of this. So this is really important damage. This allows me to go into either Tornadus or T-Tard, depending on what he wants to do. I decide I'm going to go into Tornadus over here, which is a bit of a misplay, because I do get a low roll, and that doesn't KO, which means I take a lot more damage. I lose them on that I shouldn't have lost so easily, and I put myself in a pretty bad situation. So bit of a misplay on my end. Fortunately for me, I can sort of play around that and really gain some momentum back, as he ends up being a T-Wave Gallade, paralyzing my Suicune, which is not the worst thing to be paralyzed. And I can just simply fire off a Scald at this moment and really keep on applying a lot of pressure. This is big damage for me, because this will be a -2 Gallade, which allows Tyranitar to come in and fire off a Crunch and actually 2-hit KO everything on his team, which is pretty good on T-Tard's end. So big KOs over here. I can go for another Crunch and get this Disguise off, and T-Tard ends up putting in a lot more work than I thought it would have put into this game. So that works out for me, and I can just go right into Latios over here, as I do have a defense drop on this Mimikyu, which is fantastic, because I do a lot of damage, and I put him in a state of safety where he's like, alright, he only has Slice Shock, but I reveal the Shadow Ball, and this is a 2-hit KO on the Mew, just because of that defense drop. So a lot of unfortunate hacks. Sorry about that. That's something. It's the beast of the game. It really is. Sometimes you have games like that and it just sucks. But we do pick up an important 2-0 victory. Relatively hacky on his end because, like I said, he had a lot of the bad luck over there. We had a lot of good luck. And, you know, a W is a W at the end of the day, and hopefully we can keep this luck going on. So, GG to him. That puts us at 4-5 right now. And we take on the great like Greninjas, coached by Isolate. Yeah, so he has a pretty good team too. Pretty scared of this team just because of the Darmanitan, the Thundurus. He does bring a lot of the mons that I sort of did predict that he would have brought in, plus perhaps some of the mons that I rather would have dealt with. So I'm going to lead off with Suicune just because I figured if he does lead off Thundurus or Darmanitan, Suicune can sort of play around with that. If he does lead off with Scizor, then so be it. Just because he has a lot of ways of getting that momentum, I figured Suicune was the best way to really stop that momentum. So he ends up leading with Darm over here, and I decided, you know what, let's see what sort of Darm this is. This is a Choice Banded Darm. That is no problem. That is Choice Banded damage, as I do end up going for an Ice Beam, sort of making a prediction at that end, and I can just simply go right into my Latias, just because it is a safe switch for me to make. If he brings out Ragne, then that's fine by me. I can just keep on firing off Psyshocks. Psyshocks really apply a lot of pressure on him, and I can just simply just go right into my Shaman, as I do a mean double over here, predicting the Darm to come in and just scouting up from the first turn. I knew I didn't have to be scared of the Choice Scarf just because of the damage output that it did on Suicune. This allowed me to just make a safe prediction and click Hurricane. All I had to worry about was Hurricane hitting, which it did, and I do get rewarded with a KO with the Choice Specs Hurricane. So that works out for me. Choice Specs Hurricane is a frightening thing, as I decide that this is a moment to set up my Heatran and set up some rocks. If he wants to get rid of rocks, he's gonna have to get rid of my rocks too, so it sort of works out for me. Rocks hurt him a lot more than they hurt me, and as you can tell over here, it does a lot more. And I want to scout out what this thing wants to do. I don't want to play around with it. If it's sub, then so be it, but it ends up being a nasty plot, and I have to get some damage off of this thing. So this forces him to go for an attacking move, and that's all I wanted to do. He does get the crit over there, which I don't know if it changes anything, but I can just simply force this thing out and keep on applying a lot of pressure, as I can fire off with Thundershock or Thunderbolt at this moment, and then sort of predicting him to go into Tornadus, I can fire off a Hidden Power Fire if he had gone into Scizor or something else at that moment. So it works out for me. I'm going to keep on applying a lot of pressure. I don't really need Latios at this point, and I don't want him to keep on passing wishes, so it works out for me. Just him playing aggressively at that moment sort of bit him in the butt at that moment, and this allows Latios to pick up a lot of KOs at this moment, as Heatran is my play to make. I do have the Chople Berry, so I'm not too worried about him landing this super effective damage, and it works out for me because I can just simply KO this Mega Scizor, and once again, I don't want him to have a chance of winning, so if he does overpredict and whatnot, I can just simply, you know, finish off this game. So we do get another victory at this moment, and that puts us at 5-5. We finally reached 500, and we put ourselves in a pretty solid position for keeping our destiny in our own hands. So big wins on both ends. GG to both my opponents. They played a pretty good game, and boy, what a week. I'm so happy that I was able to come out with victories just because of so many different reasons. But thank you so much for watching. I do apologize for these videos for being late. You hear Houdini in the background. That means that I'm back home for just the night, but I'll be going back out soon. I'll be buying a laptop where I can edit and record and do a whole bunch more things, so check that out. Be sure to sub, be sure to subscribe, show your support to the Toronto SwaBlu Jays, and I'm going to get going. So have yourselves a good day. Thank you so much, and once again, I am so sorry for not uploading. So peace.